Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I'm going to share with you my take on a chicken fried steak or country fried steak. So we're going to start with the meat, and I've got some cube steak here, or it's typically called in the store, you might see it called a beef round steak, and this is tenderized. If you do not get it tenderized, you will need to do that before you'll be able to eat it, because I'm telling you, without it being tenderized, it is a little chewy to try to eat that. So definitely, if you can find it where it is tenderized like this, it comes in, I've cut these in half so that they're a little bit more manageable. They were fairly large. But anyway, we're going to get started. So what we're going to do is I've got my house seasoning here, and you can season this with whatever you want. And if you haven't checked out my house seasoning or tried it, I'll put that link in that description box so you can see that. But I'm going to put some of my house seasoning on all of my outside pieces of the meat here. Generously apply that, and then I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, now that I've got that generally seasoned on both sides, I'm going to add a little bit of my seasoning to my flour here, and I really don't have a recipe for this. This is probably close to 2 cups of flour that I've got here, and I'm going to put some more seasoning in that, and then I'm just going to take a whisk and give that a good little mix through so that I get that incorporated into my flour. All right, now that I've got that incorporated, I'm going to take my steaks that I've got, and I'm going to do one step here of where I'm going to put them with the flour on the outside. I want that to get a good cover on that so that my eggs will get a good stick to that. And I'm going to set this in this clean plate over here, and I'm going to go ahead and do that to all my pieces of the steak that I've got here. All right, now that I've got the steaks covered in my flour, I'm going to take this plate that I've got here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the sink, and I'll be right back in just a minute. I'm going to let that sit just for a minute so that that flour has an opportunity to bind to that steak. All right, I am back now, and this has been sitting here for about a minute, minute and a half maybe. Now I've got a fork here, and I've got 2 eggs, and I'm just going to kind of give this a little bit of a mix through here on this, and I've got a fairly good sized pan here. And this is going to be one of my dredging trays that I've got here for my chicken fried steak or my country fried steak. So we want some kind of a binding agent that's going to allow that flour to stick to our steaks. So I've got 2 eggs here that we'll be using. You can add a little bit of milk to that if you want to. You can definitely do that. And if you need some more flour, if it doesn't look like you're going to have enough, you can definitely put some more flour in it and then add some more seasoning to it. Now that we've got our eggs scrambled up, you put a little bit of milk in it if you want to. You can definitely do that. Buttermilk would be really good in it. Buttermilk has always been, from what I've been told and taught, it helps tenderize the meats and things. So if you can add a little bit of buttermilk if you want to do that. And then I've got a rack here that I'm going to be putting my steaks on to let them sit once I get my breading on the outside of the steaks. And then I've got a second one here on the bottom that once they get fried, I'll be putting them on that so they can rest, and then I'll put them in the oven so we'll stay warm. So now that these have rested here on the counter, let's go ahead and get the batter added to our steaks. So I'm going to be double battering these. I really like a nice thick crust on them. So you can see here, this is pretty nice. The flour has adhered nicely to the steaks, and I'm just going to go ahead and put them into my eggs here. Give that a little bit of a shake off, and then we're going to put that into our flour. And then you can use your hand there and make sure we get a good coating on that. Shake off a little bit of it. We're going to go back in for a second dipping. Shake a little bit of that off and right back into the flour again for our second coating of our steaks. So definitely use your hands. You can put more of that on there. We want a nice coating on those so we get a nice crispy crust on them. All right, so now we're going to set that on my rack. Like I said, I'm just going to set that on the counter here, or you can put it in the refrigerator. Might put it in the refrigerator for up to 20 minutes, and that way we get a nice firm batter on the outside of our steak. So I'm going to continue to work on these, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, I've got my last steak here, and I did go get me another egg. It seemed like I just needed another one, and I'm going to go ahead and put the last of my batter here on my steak. Like I said, give that a good little press in. Come back and give it a second dredging for our eggs. And then we'll go in for our last little bit of flour. All right, there we go. Let you see what I've got here with my steaks. I've got a nice double breading on those. So I'm going to drop these in the refrigerator and put these in there for about 20 minutes. That way that crust on the outside will be a nice texture to it. So when we get ready to fry it, it will come out really crispy. So stay with me and I'll be back just a minute and we'll get set up here and we'll start frying our chicken fried steak or our country fried steak. Be right back. I am back. It's been about 20 minutes, and while these steaks were in the refrigerator, I went on and set up here, and I've got my cast iron skillet here. I've got about 1/4 inch of vegetable oil in there. It's a little bit in the bottom of it to kind of cover about halfway up the side of my steaks here. And we want that to be about 350 degrees. And if you don't have a thermometer, you can always do the little test. You can take some flour and throw just a little bit in there. And if you see it bubbling like that, then you know that your oil's hot enough for you to start frying. So that's just a little hack that you can try. All right, now that we know that we've got our oil heated up, I'm gonna go ahead and take my tongs and my steaks here, and I'm just gonna drop them in here. And you can see we've got a nice bubble to our steaks. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the other ones and kind of space them out so that I can get all 4 of them here into my skillet. And just kind of keep a watch on your temperature. You might have to turn it up just a little bit because as soon as you put anything into your oil like that, the temperature is going to drop. And we want this to stay around 350 degrees. We don't want it to get any hotter than that because then that will have a tendency to want to try to burn, and we don't want that to happen. So now that I've got this in here, I'm going to let this cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, and just because they get brown on one side, and then we'll turn them over. So I'm going to let these cook, and I'll be back, and I'm going to flip them over, and we'll take a look at when they're ready. All right, it's been a couple of minutes now, and I want to kind of take a look at these and see where they're at. So you can see we've got a nice crust on those. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these over, and we're going to cook these for another 2 to 3 minutes. All right, I am back, and my steaks are done. I wanted to take that and let you see what the other side looks like. So we got a nice crust on that. So I've got another tray here, and the key to what I think makes these really good is you want some kind of a wire rack in them. You do not want to set them on a plate after they've been fried because the crust on the outside will retain a lot of moisture and they will get mushy, and they're just not as good as if you let them sit on a rack. So I'm going to pull these off, and I've got just a little bit of paper under here, and I'm going to turn that one over and let that cook a little bit on that underside a little bit more. But I've got my oven preheated to 200, and once these get done, I'm going to take this paper out of here once they've had an opportunity to drain a little bit on that paper. I'm going to put these in the oven on 200 just to keep them warm, and I'm going to make some gravy today for you. So I'm going to let this last piece of steak cook. I'll get everything set up, and I'll come back and show you what we're going to do to make our gravy. All right, I am back, and I did take the oil that was in my skillet here and dump that out. I didn't want to use that for my gravy today. But I think the best gravy that you can make is with bacon fat, but you can definitely use that. If you don't have any bacon fat, you can use the grease or the oil that you use to fry your steaks in. And you can also use butter. You can melt a little bit of butter in there and put that in the bottom of it and use that. We're basically going to be making a roux today. So I'm going to put in my bacon fat that I've got here, and just to kind of eyeball it, I'm hoping that I've got about 4 tablespoons here, and we're going to see where this is going to take us. That looks good. I've got just a little bit left over if I need it, but that's kind of where we just want the bottom of the pan to be covered on that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and let my oil be heating up, and then at that point we're going to add in our all-purpose flour. You can use self-rising flour if you want to do that. This is 3 tablespoons. I'm going to let this heat up just a little bit, and then the other ingredient that we've got is milk. So I've got 2 cups of milk here. This is not low-fat. This is regular milk, whole milk. But you can also use half and half, or you can use a heavy whipping cream if you'd like it a little bit richer. So definitely, if you've got those and you want to give that a try, you can do that. But I've just got regular whole milk today, and I've got about 2 cups of that. So I'm going to let this heat up just a little bit, and I'll come back and we'll put in our flour, and we're going to get started. And if you're following along, get you a spatula or get you some type of utensil that you can use. A whisk works really good too, that we're going to be whisking this. So as soon as you put this together, you'll need that, because once this starts, you cannot stop. So I'll be back in just a minute as soon as my oil heats up. All right, my oil, I can tell, is ready now. You can see it's starting to smoke just a little bit, and we're going to take our flour and we're going to sprinkle that around. And once we start putting this in, we cannot stop at this point. So what we don't want is lumpy gravy. And so by keep stirring on it like that, we're going to make sure that we get that flour cooked really well, and our lumps, we're not going to have any gravy. And we're just going to brown this to the desiredness that you like. If you like it really dark, you can do that. If you don't want it as dark, you don't have to cook it as long. So I'm going to let this cook here just a little bit, and I'm going to show you what my doneness is, and I'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to put our milk in. All right, now I did use bacon grease today, so be careful with that because we're going to season our gravy because you don't want to put so much salt in it because your bacon might be a little bit salty on the top. So I'm going to give it just a little bit of a sprinkle, and I'm going to put some pepper in it and just keep stirring. All right, as you can see here, my gravy is to the doneness that I like it. So we're going to add our milk now, and like I said, I've got 2 cups of milk. I'm going to add that right into that and just keep stirring. Do not stop stirring. All right, our flour is going to make this thick, so we're going to keep stirring on this and let it thicken up a little bit. And even when this starts cooling down, it'll get a little bit thicker on you. So I'm going to continue to cook this, and I'll let you see what mine looks like of when I'm going to stop. I want this to come up to a bubble now, and I'm going to continue to stir this, and I'll be back in just a minute, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, I am back, and my gravy is starting to bubble. I wanted you to see what that looked like there. You can kind of see a little bit of the bubbles forming on the top of it, so we're just going to continue to keep stirring. And at this point, this is where we're going to check the thickness that you like. So if you like a little bit thinner, you can definitely take a look at it at that point and see where you want to go with it. And if you want it a little bit thicker, just keep cooking it. That flour is what's going to activate in there. And if you notice it getting it a little bit too thick, you can always come back and add a little bit more milk and thin it down a little bit if it gets too thick for where you like it. So you definitely have options. It can be saved. All right, I am back and I'm continuing to stir. I wanted to show you what this looks like as it continues to bubble. This is cooking. It's cooking down. So we're just going to keep stirring it, and we'll make sure that it doesn't get stuck in the bottom. And we'll let you see in just a minute what it looks like. Check out those bubbles on it to tell you right there that it is thickening up on us. All right, I am back, and I've got my gravy to the consistency that I like it. I hope you can see what that looks like as it's coming off the back of that spatula. It is a nice, still runny a little bit. It's not too thick that you can't get it out of there. So now I'm going to put this back into my bowl, and I'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to get our steak, and I'm going to get my mashed potatoes, and I'm going to get my biscuits that I made, and I'm going to have me a nice meal tonight. So stick with me, and we'll come back for that taste test. All right, I am back, and I've got my meal here. You can see I've got my steak, I've got some mashed potatoes, and I've got a biscuit here. If you haven't checked out these recipes on my channel, definitely check those out. I've got a video of how I make my mashed potatoes, and I got a couple of videos on how I make these wonderful biscuits here. So let's get some of our gravy onto our steak and our potatoes. I'm going to put a little bit on my biscuit as well and let you take a look at that. That looks incredible. Put a little bit on top of our potatoes. And we're going to smother the biscuit with it as well. Put just a little bit more on my steak. Let's dig into this and see what we got. That steak has a nice batter on that. As you can see, the steak is done, and that nice batter on both sides of that piece of steak. Look at that. That is delicious. That's what comes with it when you put double coating of your flour on it. So when we started out with the one and then we double coated it again with the eggs, you get a nice thick batter on it and a nice piece of steak here. So got a little bit of gravy on that. Let's give this a taste. That is delicious. And I'm going to have some of these potatoes too because they look really good. Everything is absolutely delicious. I know you're going to love this. And I would love to hear from you in the comment section if you've ever tried a country fried steak or chicken fried steak. And if you do it a little differently, let me know how you cook yours. I'd love to hear from you. And if this is your first time of making country fried steak or chicken fried steak, I'd love to hear from you on how yours turned out. Maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And check out one of these other 2 videos over here. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm fixing to dig back into this, and I hope you make it soon. Let me know in the comments what you think. Bye-bye now.